All right, guys, good afternoon. Hope you all are doing well. Let's take a look and see what happened to Bitcoin today. So, taking a look at our chart here on the daily, it looks like, goodness, we took out this low right here at 60,755. Let's see here. Went to 60,747. And that was from last night, and then we've kind of been in this middle range. You can see there's indecisiveness here. So let's go ahead and drill down into the 4 and see kind of what we can be targeting now. So, oh goodness, okay. Gosh, not what I wanted to see really. So it looks like we've tested this 61,157 line about 3 different times now. Twice we've kind of ripped through it. Third time now we're bouncing off of it. It looks like we went to 61,062. So there is a good chance that this does not hold. I mean, the more times that you bounce off of it, the less likely that this support area is going to hold, right? So, I'm leaning more into the fact that this is probably a bearish profile week, similar to like what we had a few weeks ago. I think I showed you guys. Yeah, like something like this profile here. A lot of, we're having a lot of accumulation ranges and we're not really getting that expansion phase just yet. But, I mean, you could technically, on the 1 hour, you could even define this, on a bullish case, you could define this as a swing low right here. But I'm not really convinced yet. I mean, we're not seeing action really to take us up to the upside. I mean, when we first took out this low right here, we kind of had a decent move, but it was still, within a $2,000 range. It wasn't something huge, and we didn't keep going. We just came right back down. We started retesting the same area. So, the more I look at this, the more I'm thinking that tonight we're probably more than likely going to roll over. And my assumption is we're going to next test the 60,189 level, and then possibly even come down here within this range here that we've been targeting, 58,934 to 56,617, right? So, I'm expecting tomorrow, because we're not getting this volatility, we're just kind of staying stuck in this range. I'm expecting a rollover now, and I'm expecting tomorrow to be more of a bearish day potentially. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, there's a lot of indecision, but I'm kind of leaning to more towards that this is going to be a bearish profile, and then maybe on Friday, we make our low and we get our bounce up from the low. That's kind of my current assumption, what I'm working off of. Targets to look for. Bearish case, you're looking at 60,189 if we break this. Then moving down into this range, right? 58,934 to 56,617. Either of those lines are even in between at this 57,252 level here. So anywhere within this range, we could possibly be bottoming out if we get that low. We could just stay here and also bounce from there as well. It's really going to depend. But those are some levels that I would be looking for. Let's take a look at the 15. So the 15 kind of, it looks like it's going to be using this 21 as resistance, at least for now, which is not a great sign. So, I know that we're going to be closing our daily soon here, but I was hoping that, even it would have been great if this low could have stayed intact and not been taken out, but it looks like we're going to close indecision, and, we could either flip next day or keep coming down lower. So, just kind of some insight as to what I'm expecting for the rest of the week. Let's take a look and see, on trading different, where this kind of lies, these levels lie here. I know that we've looked at it before, but let's see if it's changed at all with liquidity. So, coming back here, let's take a look here. So this is our 15. Let's go ahead and move up to the 4 hour, because I'm looking more for short term still. All right, so it's, of course, bouncing right off my line in the sand here. That's lovely. But you can see we're starting to form a bridge down. So we have this little speck at 60,000, 20, which, I believe that's within that 60,000. I think it was 180. See, 60,189. So that's right around that area, right, that I'm expecting a bounce from. We could possibly get here, bounce off of there, come back up, or we could just take out this full pool of liquidity down to that 58 level, 58 251 here. This is on 25x as well, so this just appeared. There's a lot of people longing the market down here. Um, let's see. 10x kind of shows the same thing, except we can get down even lower. So I would probably, for the time being, focus on the 25x liquidity pool and just kind of take a look and see, short term, more than likely we're probably going to take this out soon and then maybe rebound. If not, we'll just keep falling through. NASDAQ's not looking that strong. And another thing against us right now, I don't play too much into news, or I don't like to look at the news too much based off of my TA, but obviously you have the SpaceX IPO releasing on Friday, so that's something to possibly think about. We could see, a volatile dump on that day or before then because people are selling off assets to buy into that IPO. And then, maybe later on in the day, I would be, if we do dump on Friday, I would be expecting a bounce later on in the day. I would expect it to be early, and then I would expect a bounce after, a certain time. Usually I would say probably after midday on Friday. So that's kind of something to kind of keep in mind. We do have quite a big event coming up on Friday. I don't know exactly if there's anything really that's going to happen tomorrow, or if we're just going to keep chopping and staying within this range. Let's go ahead and take a look at the fifth. Actually, let's take a look at the 1 hour first, and then we'll drill into the 15. So 1 hour is, let's see, let me make sure I have the right pools checked off here. 1 hour is kind of showing the same thing. It does show that we possibly, we have this yellow pool around 60,600, and then obviously our 60,200 area that we've been watching has a bright yellow pool there. 50x is now showing red areas, so any of these red areas we could potentially bounce off of. If you take a look, let's see, let me zoom in a little bit more to the 15. Yeah, so even, on the 1500x, you can see that we have those same pools, but since we're zoomed in, you can really see the red liquidity there. So there's a good chance that this does get taken out sooner rather than later. 50x kind of shows the same thing, but on a positive note, you can see there's a whole bunch of liquidity up here now within that 64,300 to 64,800 type of range right there. So that's a really good spot. If we were to come down here, we might get a long opportunity depending on how the market reacts to this area, if there's a good support line. Looking at Kiyotaka here, it does look like we right now have, and it just got taken away, so we did have some support around 61,000, so 60,900 to 60,850-ish. We did have some support. That just got pulled, so now it looks like there's a decent order down to 60,487, and then we got some support down here at 60,000. So, we could come slamming down here, and then you can see that there's some more liquidity coming on here. So, I don't know, guys. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens tonight. I'm out of my Bitcoin trades for now. I did try taking a long earlier today, and I cut it off early because it didn't look like it was going to pan out. I've lost a very small amount, but just be careful in this market. It is going to be quite choppy, probably until Friday now, since we didn't get any actions during the week. It would be surprising for me to see any sort of real movement tomorrow, but you never know. This market has been very wild lately. So anyway, guys, that's just an update for me. One more thing I'll talk about right here. If we were to go the bullish case, you can see that we have our first resistance point right here at 63,163, which is around that, right basically before that 63,610. So right in this range right here. And then we have some other liquidity bands up higher, getting up to that 63,610 here. So that it's going to probably pose some resistance unless they get pulled. So anyway, guys, it looks like for right now, at least from the order books perspective, that there's more of a possibility that we're going to see some drawdown potential. But again, it's going to be kind of up in the air. This market has been going sideways this whole week practically. So not too much volatility, but or I should say expansive moves that we've been seeing. But at least, hopefully on Friday we can get, a sense of direction as to where we're for sure going to be going soon. So hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning. Take care.